Track 26.
OK, come on in. Hi, Ben. Hello, Mark, Sally. Let's get going, shall we? Because we've got a lot of ground to cover this afternoon. It's Ben's turn to give his tutorial paper today, but remember, we do encourage questions from the rest of you, so do try to join in and ask questions.
OK.
Now, I believe Ben's going to talk to us today about the exploration of the Red Planet.
That's right. I'm going to be looking at the recent landing by the Americans of a spacecraft on the planet Mars, and in particular focusing on the small rover robot.
Is that the little robot that functions as a geologist?
Yes, that's right. It's called a rover, like a Land Rover, I suppose, and it can detect the geological composition of the ground it's standing on. So, yes, it's a sort of geologist. It's actually quite amazing.
I heard it described as being like a microwave oven on wheels.
Yeah, well, from an appearance point of view, that's a fair description. I photocopied a picture of it for you so you can keep this for reference and make some notes. And I'll just hand that out now.
OK.
Thank you.
Thanks. Wow, you'd actually expect it to look more space-age than this, wouldn't you? Like more sophisticated.
OK, well, as you can see, it's quite small. It actually only weighs 16.5 kilos.
Right. And what kind of speed is it capable of, Ben?
Well, I suppose that depends on the terrain. But I understand that it has a top speed of 2.4 kilometres, which isn't very fast, really.
And can you tell us how it works? Explain some of these things we can see here.
Well, first of all, on the top, it's fitted with solar panels. It runs on solar energy, of course.
Does that mean it can't work at night?
Yes, indeed it does. I guess it sleeps at night. So you have the solar panels on the top, and underneath this is the part known as the warm box.
What's the purpose of that?
Well, at night, the temperatures on Mars can go below 100 degrees, so the warm box is designed to protect the electronics from the extreme cold. It is also fitted with 2 cameras on the front.
OK. And what about its wheels?
It's got aluminium wheels, each 13 centimetres in diameter. Each one has its own motor, so it's individually powered, which allows the vehicle to turn on the spot if necessary. And as you know, aluminium is very light.
And how do they steer it?
Good question. It's steered using virtual reality goggles worn by someone back on Earth, believe it or not.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, you see, it takes 11 minutes for a radio signal to travel from command headquarters in California to Mars, and the same amount of time for the answer to come back.
Oh, of course. So there's a time delay.
Yes, exactly. And it's impossible to steer the rover in real time because of this. So they photograph the area around the rover, and the scientists will decide where they want the rover to go.
In other words, they plot a course for the rover.
Exactly.
OK, Ben, that's very interesting. Now, can you tell us anything about the space mission itself? Why Mars?
Well, people have been fascinated by Mars for a long time, and it's generally believed that Mars is the only other planet in the solar system to have lots of water.
Is it possible that people might one day be able to live on Mars?
Well, of course, there's a lot of work to be done yet, but theoretically, I can't see why not.
Thanks, Ben. That was very interesting.